today we're going to meet and talk with Beth Perrick, who is in charge of the Thrive Project. And Beth is also Vice President of GRF. And so Beth, tell us, what is the Thrive Project?
The Thrive Project is about how are we thriving here in Laguna Woods Village. And we do thrive so much. It started about 4 years ago when a man named Stanley Feldman was the chair of Media and Communications. And I had the pleasure of being on that committee. And I saw on TV, on the internet actually, Humans of New York. And in Humans of New York, the short story is that there was a man who was a photographer taking pictures of people in New York, putting them up on the internet and telling their story. And I saw that, and the stories were so unique, and the people are so unique. And you know, everyone here in Laguna Woods Village has a story. And so Stanley was convinced right away. We told him about it, and he said, go with it. So we started it, and we had to think of a name of the project. And I think it was Scott Marvel that came up with the name Thrive, but I'm not sure. Anyway, we all agreed that we are thriving here, and so that's the name of the project. So the project is to try to show people in as many ways as possible how you can and how we do thrive here in Laguna Woods Village.
And so what are some of the ways that people can thrive?
Okay, so some of the ways that we can thrive are all of the clubs, over 200 clubs, we can be active in 200 clubs. Government-wise, that we can be involved. We have, 7 clubhouses. And it is amazing how people are involved in sports here in the village. Just amazing, fun sports like playing billiards or swimming. If you just look at the recreation bulletin that comes out each month, ideas of how you can thrive, that's just one of the many ways that you can thrive.
And I think there's just so many opportunities, and I think the challenge is to make sure that people get out and get involved. Mm-hmm. And so what is your goal as far as that goes? Because it's great to have all these things here for them, but some people are reticent and they're a little afraid to come out of their manor, because they're not sure what's out there. So what are some of the goals and objectives of getting these people really involved?
Okay, so one of the things is marketing, right? We need to let people know what we are all about. So the Thrive Committee, which is active and getting more and more active, reaching out into the community. Each time we meet, we can come up with more ideas and reaching out.
Good.
And I need to show you, this is our new logo we're working on. And we may change the color a bit or whatnot, but soon you will be seeing people walking around with Thrive buttons on. We're hoping maybe even to have the Thrive buttons available for people participating in the village games to wear a Thrive button during the games.
That'd be perfect.
Just really excited. People who thrive. So you can see someone else thriving and get the idea that you would like to thrive.
Good, and then you also have some objectives in I think it's your motto or your mission statement.
Yes, let me read this so I don't get any of these words incorrect. We had a whole day workshop that we worked on to come up with our mission and our logo so we could all agree. And this is our mission statement. What we do is we would like to capture and share moments of life in the village. Capture. With video, with photography. Sometimes we're talking about maybe painting. We're really reaching out for more and more media with which to demonstrate the thriving. And so then what is our vision? Long term, what are we looking for? We're looking for inspiring quality living in every chapter of our lives.
That's wonderful. And I think that it's so important because people need to know about it. It needs to be advertised. Marketing is good for everything, isn't it?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And I think this could be wonderful. So how do you operate with this? Do you meet every month? Because you have to keep that ball rolling so that things keep happening.
Yes, well, we have subcommittees that meet different times throughout the month and are accomplishing different tasks, but we do meet once a month
Okay.
on a Wednesday, and I believe it's the third Wednesday of the month, but it's advertised and you would see it in the Globe.
Okay. And then the subcommittees are doing what?
The subcommittees are out there videotaping,
Okay.
interviewing people, taking pictures.
And then what will happen with those videos and pictures?
Then they send those to Heather Rasmussen, and she puts them up onto our website. And that's
Okay.
another really good way to find out about Thrive. If you go to the Village website and find Thrive on the website, and you will see people thriving, pictures and videos, and that's one way. Another way, go to the Thrive show Thursday mornings at 9:30 on Village Television.
Right.
And so the website and the TV station, and also you can go to Gmail, the Thrive Project at gmail.com, the Thrive Project at gmail.com, and you would be able to have someone tell you about it and maybe help to get you involved and come to a meeting and work with us, reaching out.
Get some other people involved in helping
Yes,
with
surely.
it. And I know that the other thing that's so great is the new website is so much improved and so much more interesting.
Yes.
So I think trying to drive people to the website is I'm sure one of the things you're trying to do,
Yes.
because it really makes a difference when you go on there from the old website.
Yes,
It's much,
they're
much better.
working on it, getting better and better all the time. But it's so much improved, yes.
And I know that this program that we're doing right now is another way of promoting the Thrive
Yes.
in the village. And I know that we're going to try to do more and more of that so that we can get people to know what is available to them. So Beth, tell us, what motivated you to get involved in this project?
I really believe that this is the time in our life. We're really blessed to be able to be retired. And when you retire, what do? You can love others, you can serve others, and you can have fun. And Thrive is all about doing all of those things.
That's great. And I remember at the end of one of our shows, there were some people from outside the village who had been invited by some people in the village to come to the show. Well, I was so amazed. In the lobby, they were looking at all the things that were available and all the shows that were going on, and they were saying, well, we want to come, we want to do this, you know. So I think it's sometimes we almost forget how blessed we are to have so much here.
Yes.
You know, because we have so much available to us.
So much, and so much that we can be involved with and thriving and serving other people.
And you can do it on a big scale or a small scale.
Exactly.
Right.
What are your gifts? Use your
Right.
gifts.
Use your gifts.
Go for it.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, thanks, Beth. It's been a great talk, and we're going to do some more about this, I know, in the future. But we will be promoting this all the way with you and all of the people that are involved.
We'll be sure to get you a Thrive button to wear.
You bet. You bet. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Here we are with Fran Conroy, and I've known Fran for almost 5 years now, and primarily through the Theater Guild, but she has a great story to tell, and we wanted to share it with you so that you might be able to take advantage of this opportunity to thrive. So Fran, tell us how I happened to see you so many places, so many times, and what brought you out to all these wonderful things we do here.
Well, about 5 years ago, 5.5 years ago, my husband became ill, and I was home one day feeling sorry for myself, thinking my life was ending, you know, and a girlfriend of mine, Marge, said to me, hey, we need your help down at the show at Theater Guild. It was Oi. And I says, okay, I'll help you, I guess. Let me have a day or two to think about it. And my husband at that time said, you've got to get out. You can't sit here and watch me all the time. I'll be fine. So I went down that, in fact, I started on a Saturday. It was a Saturday matinee. And from then on, I was hooked. I just got involved with the Theater Guild, did one show after another, doing the makeup. And then the old pros asked me to do it. And my husband was thrilled, because as he was deteriorating and there was a large age difference, he didn't want me to sit home and moan and groan. He says, your life has to continue on. So after about 2 years with the Theater Guild, I decided I'm going to go back to college and get another degree. This is my third degree. I'm a dental hygienist. I have a master's in nutrition, and I went back to do makeup. And I went back to school and got certified as a makeup artist. And then I went ahead and was still doing Theater Guild, and I was approached by Channel 6, and I worked over there for almost a year. And my husband passed away at the beginning. He passed away 4 days after I started working, or 3 days after I started working. And his last words basically were, he says, I'm not going to make it that long, and I want you to continue on. So that's what I did. I took some time off, a short time off after he passed away, and I went to work as a makeup artist over at Channel 6. And then December, I decided, hey, my life has to go on, and I miss traveling. That was one of my favorite things. So I left Channel 6, and I just came back from Australia, New Zealand, and Tasmania. In a couple weeks, I'm leaving for New York for 10 days.
Great. And you and Rick used to travel a lot.
Oh, we traveled all over the world. That's one thing that we did, we both loved. And I'm glad we did it when we did. Because as you get older, you kind of slow down. And you can't enjoy it as much as when you're a little younger. But I'm still going strong.
I know you are. And the other thing I noticed, I mean, then you also went to dances and...
Oh yeah,
which,
I started. He made me go to the dances, and it was so weird. Here I am married, and I'm going to dances. I didn't want to dance with anybody else, so I would go for 1 hour. Then I'd come back and tell him, oh, it was wonderful. Thank you for letting me go and sending me off and all that. In the meantime, I'm thinking, what a waste of time. What a waste of time. But in fact, this is, I think, the second Boomer dance I'm going to go to tonight in a year. So I'm not a big dance goer, even though I love to dance.
But you, like the Halloween party thing, you were there.
That's when I went.
Because you love to do all that stuff. So
Oh,
you were
yeah.
all gussied up and funny as heck in your costume at the
Yeah.
Halloween party.
Right.
Right. So other things like that you've got, where it still is mixed in with couples and singles.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah. I just enjoy life, and I always did, and I always will. There's times when you just feel down and you don't want to do anything, but the best thing I can say living in the village is I have a group of girlfriends that are phenomenal, even men friends, and they call me up and say, let's go, don't sit home. And even if we don't do something in the village, we're out to eat lunch, we're out to eat dinner, we'll go shopping.
Movies.
Oh yeah, movies. That's another thing.
Because we've gone to a couple
Oh
of those.
yeah. And shows.
Shows.
We go to the Circumstance Center all the time, and we go over to the Barclay. So we're always doing something, and if it wasn't for the friends that I had in the village, it would be really hard. But I look at life as a menu, and I'm a foodie on the side. When you first are born, you're the appetizer. You're learning to dress yourself, you're learning to feed yourself. Then you go eat the salad or soup. Me, I like salad. But it's like school. You're learning everything you possibly can, and your brain is like a sponge sucking everything up. And then you get to the main course, and that's getting married, raising your kids, going to college, going to work, getting everything done, and then you retire. And what happens when you retire? After the entree, the best thing is dessert. And I'm in the dessert phase of my life, and nobody's going to stop me from eating dessert. That's it.
Good.
I love desserts.
So any particular goals that you have now? Because I know you're always doing a lot, but is there anything that you think you want to be doing more of, or more adventures you might want to take advantage of?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't stop and think. I'm kind of impulsive on a lot of things.
Good.
And if it seems good and it sounds okay and sounds like fun, I'm doing it.
Good.
If it becomes a drag, that's it. I'm too old to be part of it. So, yeah, I'm just going to continue on and just enjoy my life because you never know. It's once around the dance floor.
There
you
you
can have
go.
lots of partners, but it's at one time. Nobody can take your place. So all I can say is people should get out, enjoy it. There's so many groups here in the village. I belong to the Theater Guild, the Old Pros. I'm going to rejoin the Camera Club and Video Club
Good.
and take a class with Jean.
Oh, the
From-
lady that's
yeah,
teaching the class.
mhm,
Yes,
yeah.
okay.
And I'll just see where it leads. You know, every day's a new adventure, and you get up and you say, "Thank goodness," and let's see what I'm going to do today.
I'm still living, I'm still breathing, so.
Hey, let's
How
go
did you,
out and
how
have
did you
fun.
feel about we had this big event at Theater Guild the other night where it was called the What Not to Wear fashion show, and you and Jeannie Madigan were very funny. How did you feel doing that?
Well, I enjoy it. I like improv. I'm also a member of the clown.
Oh, you're a clown, I
That's
forgot.
right. Yeah.
Graduated, actually, that's another
Right.
degree you have from
Uh-huh.
Clown College.
Yeah. Right.
You
And I
almost
belong
forgot
to
that.
the International Clown
So-
Association.
So
Can
that's
you believe that?
another degree.
Yeah, so I do volunteer work with the clowns or work with the handicapped children, both mentally and physically. I have been now for a year, and we have some more events. And I work down at Camp Pendleton for the men that were coming back from Afghanistan to join their families at the Gator Bash. So I like to volunteer my time and do things. I want to do a little more clowning, and I don't know, just see.
So your
see where
outfits
it
were
takes
sort
me.
of on the side of clowning, wouldn't you say?
Well, I don't know. They told me it was kind of on the side of a streetwalker.
It was, you're right, it was, but I thought it'd be nice.
My mother, I showed my mom, she's 99. She says, "Francine," that's when she's mad. "I can't believe you wore that in public." I said, "Mom, it was for a good cause. Don't
Yes.
worry about it." So, and she lives here in the village, and up until a couple of years ago, she was very active too. So, time takes its toll.
I think one of the things about living here is we realize that it is going to happen that way someday. So we better just do as much as we can and be as active and have as much fun as we can because
You just have to have a positive outlook. Anybody can be grumpy, they can be nasty, they can sit and say there's nothing to do and complain about everything. And that's the way you want your path to be, that's the way it is. But you have to enjoy life because as I said, when your time comes, you can't have anybody just take your place. So go out and enjoy life and try something new. That's the way I look at it. 'Cause
Good.
That's life.
you got it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great talking to you.
Me too, Sandy.
Hi, now we're with Carla Vigas. And Carla and I have gotten to know each other after, I would say, about the last 6 months. And Carla's got another great story to tell about thriving in Laguna Woods. And so I'm going to let her tell that story. But besides being a really interesting person, she's also a great cook. So I just happened to think of that because she's made some wonderful food for all of us friends. So Carla, tell us about what brought you to the village and what your challenges have been and why you got into the Thrive mood.
Okay, well, my aunt and uncle lived here in the village, and I inherited their manor. So I was living in Utah, and I just recently moved here full time. So for the past 8 years, I've been going back and forth to Utah. And my husband has had many health problems, and his doctors were all in Utah. And he went on a kidney transplant list in Utah and dialysis. But we both love California and Orange County and here, Laguna Woods. So we decided that we would sell Utah's house and be here permanently without, just jumping in. And I've always loved California. Actually, I grew up in Orange County. And I went up to Northern California, to Utah, and then back here. So Orange County feels like home. And my husband got diabetes. He's got the dialysis. He has neuropathy. He has heart problems. But his mental facilities are very good. Faculties. Not
Faculties.
Anyways, he is what you would call a homebody. He doesn't like to go out and venture much, although twice a week he plays poker.
Which is good.
which is good for him. And he gets sick from dialysis. It's a process. That day, if you have dialysis, you're not feeling well. And even though, you know, I set him up with everything and cook for him and supply his medications and I take care of everything, I really do everything right now because he really cannot. He uses a walker and he just doesn't feel good enough to go out. So I love to go out. And I feel like this has been just my salvation living in Laguna Woods. Utah was pretty boring. California is pretty fun. And for the last 8 years, I've been in the lawn bowling club. That was my #1 activity here. And lovely bunch of people, fun people.
So even though
you got
you-
to take a lesson.
I know, you're just trying to get me into the lawn bowling. Well, I may do this, but so all this time you were back and forth, you were still on the lawn bowling group?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But when we moved here permanently in September, now I'm on the lawn bowling board. I'm on the theater guild board. I really got involved here. And that's what I've always wanted to do because I am a joiner. I am a social person. I love to dance. We have friends, mutual friends that have bands, the jazz band, the Dutch of Fizz band. So we have a lot of fun. Dick cannot go. That's my husband. He just can't.
But
So,
he feels okay about you going.
he feels good about me going. Yes.
Good.
Kind of like Fran Conroy, you know.
Yes.
It's just the husband knows that, you know, you're just going to sit there and watch them as long as they're fed and taken care of and, you know, happy to be home and in his little environment watching TV is what he likes to do. And I like to be in the Foodies Club, the Theater Guild, and talking me into something I never have done the other night is go on stage.
Yes. And so tell us a little more about that because your son came,
My son came.
who's an actor.
Yes. And he definitely wanted to see his mother, after one acting lesson, go on stage. So that was hysterical, but a lot of fun. And I just love it here. I encourage people, you know, feel good about yourself. Do something good for yourself. Law of Attraction, that has helped me a lot. That's another club that we belong to. And it just lets you live in this moment and find joy and fun in this life because this is what it's all about. And what better place to do it with 200 plus clubs here. And I just love it. People have to get out and see what's out here. Enjoy yourself. Do not let guilt put any thumb down on your activities. Just have fun.
And I think you've actually encouraged some other people too, haven't you? I mean,
Yeah.
I know you've met people and encouraged them and to get a little more involved.
Yes, and I think people need to have the resources and take
Advantage?
take advantage of them. Hello.
Sometimes it's hard to get it out, right?
Yeah, take advantage of them here. So if people just get out, get involved, they're going to have a much happier life and a much more joyful life, and still maintaining your ability to take care of your mate.
Good. And there's another thing that you go to. It's called, is it Life Before what?
Life after life.
Life After Life. I could not remember the name of it. And explain what that's about.
They have guest speakers from like hospice, nurses, spiritual people who talk about their experience with people on the edge of dying or have passed or transitioned or whatever you call it. And it's all very informative. I love that whole metaphysical type of thing.
So you think this is sort of helping you or will help you in this whole process with your husband?
Yes. Because I believe there is life after life. So, that's the thing that you hold on to, and We're here just to have joy and fun, and some people's time isn't so. And I think the law of attraction helps mainly with that with me.
I know you love it very much,
I love it.
and I'm right. I'm right with you on that. And so, what any of the things that you want to do in the future? Any other goals that you have, or are you just going to let it roll, or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to let it roll. I am involved with my son's life too. He lives 15 minutes away from me, and he's in a lot of theater, so I love to go to that. And my daughter lives up north, try to visit her. Just be active. I love cooking. Now the Theater Guild has me cooking up a store.
We somehow we thought you'd be a good hospitality chairman.
Yeah.
And the food was definitely upgraded.
Yeah, and the Mindful Eating Club I belong to as
That's
well.
right.
And I did a cooking demonstration there as well too. So it's my forte. Plus dancing. I want to get back into dancing. And
Tell us what you did with dancing.
I was in dance for 20 years in Modesto, and it was ballet, tap jazz. I was a dance instructor. I was the ballet mistress for the Modesto Civic Ballet Company, and we did performances. And my daughter's a dance teacher. My granddaughter is into dance. We just love to be active. The arts is wonderful.
What kind of dance do you want to? I mean, what kind of thing do you want to do with dance?
Well, maybe I go back into tap or do
Oh.
some of the shows.
That's what we want you to do. We want you
Yeah.
to get involved in that because it's really you've met a lot of the people. You know how welcoming they are and how
Yes.
much fun they are.
Yeah, and I just love this whole group. I love my friends. Friends are so important here. And getting out and meeting people is how you get people with like-minded ideas, and you just get in your niche.
And I think one of the things that I really respect about you is Carla wanted to get to know me better, so she asked me to go to lunch. And this lunch turned out to be amazing because we are a little freaked out by the
Yeah.
fact that we have all these things in common that we had no idea had we not had that lunch.
That's right.
Right. And that's why we try to reach out to more people as we're in this process, even in any groups that we're in. We try to reach out because we know that buried in there, if they haven't spoken of it, is some treasure that we don't know about.
Exactly. And encouraging people to just join in. And just
Big or small.
Yeah, just get out and do it. Just do it. Beautiful weather, beautiful beaches, beautiful friends. What more can you ask for?
And there's one other thing I'd like to mention before we close is I know some days you just go down to the beach. And why do you do that?
Oh, yes. Because I love the beach. I feel very connected with the beach. My mother and our family would go to the beach, Corona del Mar. That was her
Oh,
favorite
yes.
beach. I would go to Huntington Beach because that's where all the kids would go from St. Columban's grade school. But we just had a wonderful time, and it's so good for reflection and just being one. I do meditate too. And when I meditate and your mind kind of wanders a little bit, I just imagine just the beach. My father lived in Hawaii for 20 years, and my brother lives in Maui right now. So the beach is just my
It's almost in your soul,
sanctuary.
right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it's been great talking to you. We look forward to your future as we do with Fran, and it's
Okay.
all good.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.